Hey guys, Jeff here. Hopefully you watched our first video and you're getting kind of familiar with the notes of the guitar. Today we're going to go over the chords, teach you how to make all the chords, teach you how to read the chord diagrams. From then on it's just practicing. You'll be able to play the chords. So please leave any comments down below. Click on the like, subscribe, please share the video, and we'll get started as soon as we roll the intro.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago.
I want to start this just saying that I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not supported by anybody, so I just do these just so you can get some enjoyment out of the guitar and kind of learn to play. So in our last video, we went over all the notes and the basics, just kind of a recap of that, and then we'll dive a little deeper. We always like to start with the basics. Coffee. I'll be going through some things here on the guitar. I wanted to show you, when you're looking at music for the guitar and how to play, I'm going to go into a little bit of chords. I just wanted to show you this. This is kind of where what your chord diagrams will look like a lot of times. If you look at this sheet I have pulled up on the computer here, it has each one of these graphs are shaped like a guitar. You'll notice, like right up here, there's a usually it'll have the name of the chord it's showing, like an E minor, a G, an A, or whatever it's showing. Right here is basically, pretend it's the neck of the guitar. Usually there will be some kind of notation, like there may be a little 3 telling you you're playing this on the 3rd fret. If it doesn't have anything, it just means it's up on the beginning of the guitar, up in here in the 1st fret. You can see I put out here on a lot of them, I'm doing 1st fret, the 3rd fret, the 5th fret, and they're talking about 1st fret is this first space in the guitar, 3rd fret is where this dot is. And you can also see they put a dot on the side of the guitar for each of those two, so you can just look down and see the first dot is the 3rd fret, the second dot is the 5th fret. So not only do you don't have to look around at your keyboard, those dots are on the top of the guitar where you can see them as well. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of show you that. I'm going to get into showing you some chords. Another way you may see it is some people will write it out like this. And I wanted to show you one other thing here. And this is going to apply on the other one. Like this is your top E string, that top one. You know, that next string down, E, is your next string down. So they'll usually on these put your first finger here, your second finger here, your third finger here, and it'll really spell out the chord. Sometimes once you're familiar with the chords, you'll see some people write it in a tab. And once again, this is like your E string of the neck on the guitar, your A string, and they'll just tell you like an A chord, which holds all 3 of these down. They don't necessarily tell you which fingers, they just tell you, they have an X telling you not to play this string, to start playing this one open, hold these 3 strings down in the 2nd fret, and play this one open, which would be like this. You know, that's an A chord. So anyway, that's one way you can look at them. I wanted to go over these. These are the notes of the guitar, and you can take a second, you can pause the video, and these are your major chords. A major chord is always made up of, the root, 3rd, and 5th of the major scale. Major scale is like E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. So, that's a major scale. So if you took the A chord, is made up of A, that's the root, A, root, the name of the note. and then the third one, which would be A, B, C. So anyway, basically this would be you're holding all three of these down. You can see on this one that I have right here, let me zoom that in for you. So take a second, pause it, screenshot this if you need to so it's a little easier to follow around. I'll pause the video and then start it back for you. Alright, so that's a screenshot of this top one. I'm also going to scroll this down a little ways, and I want you to get, these are the minor chords, which are always made up of the first note, the flattened third, and the fifth note. Makes that like A minor, you know, makes that into an A minor as opposed to an A. So anyway, let me take a second, have you screenshot this so you can get these notes. That gets you through kind of your major minor chords right there. Alright, so anyway, when you're making these chords, I'm going to zoom this in now. You can see there's a dot right here with a 1, a 2, and a 3. What that's telling you is your first finger is going to go on that. You can see this is that top A, E string, A, D. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you go to the 4th string down, put your first finger in that 2nd fret. That's the 2nd fret. So it's going to be, your first finger is going to go right here. Your second finger, you see it's putting on that 3rd string in the same fret. So I'm going to play it like that. And then your 3rd finger is going down to the 5th string on that there. Now you can notice up here there's an X saying don't play that top string. Start from here. And you're going to play that one open and this one open. So it's going to be like this. You know, I lay my hand on the guitar, kind of mute it. And then I'll play from that A string down. You know, so if you're hearing a bunch of, it just means you need to press your fingers down harder on it to, you know, on the notes. Now it's kind of rough at first. You're going to build up some calluses. Your fingers are going to hurt, but just keep practicing and your fingers will get kind of calloused to where that's a little bit easier. Now there's another one, when you go to the B note, that's one of the harder ones for people to play when they're first starting out. And there are a couple of things you can do. Some people prefer to play, like here is saying to deaden this string. You can see this line I've got going across shows that you bar all these with one finger on the 2nd fret. So that would be like this. And then you're going to play the other ones with your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger in that 4th fret. Now, that's a hard note to take. Even I'm out of practice kind of doing it. You know, you got one way you can play that to where you play just the top 3 strings is a B. Or you could play it with the bottom string and just holding those top 2 and just play those bottom couple of strings are also a B. So, but the correct way to play it is, of course, playing all of them. So now another way some people will play it is just hold these down with the 3rd finger, that one, and play it like a bar chord, like, you know, in your rock music. So, and you'll notice if you look at that A chord, you know, I wanted to show you that. So let's say you move this shape down to the 2nd fret. That's pretty much an A chord, right? Where you have this nut up here, you know, which is this top thing, they're telling you to play it open. Imagine that's a finger. So basically, you could pretend you're holding your finger back behind there. That nut's doing it for you. But that's holding all 3 of those down in the 2nd fret. These ones that are played open, the nut's holding it, but pretend that's your finger. So what happens? That's an A. Now what happens if I move that up 2 frets? That's a B. I move that same shape. If I move it up one more, guess what? That becomes a C. Remember, between B and C, there's no sharps or flats, and E, there's no. So if I move it, you know, as far as your rock music, that's how a lot of that is. So basically, you know, when you're making that chord, you're going to make, you know, your first finger is going to go on that fourth string from the top string. Another thing in guitar theory, when you're hearing people talk, technically, and when you're stringing a guitar and looking at it, really, I always call this the top string and the first. Technically, when you hear it, the bottom one is considered the first string. The next one is considered the second string. The next one up the third, fourth, fifth, sixth. I just always talk about the string closest to you, the top. So sorry for any confusion. It's just, you know, I'm talking about it because it's the first one I'm kind of counting down from. So it's easier for me because when you're holding the guitar, you know, this top string is here and it's just easier for me to relate to that. So just know theory-wise that it's kind of backwards from how I'm talking about it. This is actually considered the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know I do know that, and I know I'm talking about it kind of goofy. But anyway, so on that A chord, you know, you're going to put the first finger here, the second finger right above it in the same fret, and your third finger on that B string, the second one from the bottom in the same fret. You don't play this one. You can see there's an X right up here on that one saying not to play it. This one's open, the bottom one's open. So the rest of them you just strum. Now you'll notice when you go to a B, do you notice, see these in the second fret? How these, if you move that same position down 2 frets, which is what this is, a B is in the 4th fret. And I wanted to explain the bar chords because this is a big thing, especially if you're playing rock music or anything. So like, let's say you have an A. A lot of times in rock, they just hold them all down with one finger, or they'll hold it with their first finger, you know, sitting there, and only play the top 2 or 3 strings. You know, because if you're playing the rest of them, it gets sounding kind of funny, but, you know, they'll just play the top couple of strings on it. So this nut holds all these strings open, so you got to remember that's almost like an imaginary finger holding it down right here. You see what I'm saying? Because it's pretty much holding pressure on all of them. So when you're playing an A, everything in that second fret, what happens if I put my finger on this nut and I just move it down 2 frets? Well, look at that next note on the screen, that's a B. Right? If I moved it up one more, what would that become? That's a bar chord C. A lot of time in rock music, they will lay their hand on the strings here and they'll mute those and go. You know, and a lot of your rock music, like, so knowing that this starts with an A, you know, if you move that down, it becomes a B, a C, a D, an E. It helps you with being able to follow that once you get familiar with that. That's why it's real familiar to get, because you could always, let's say you're looking at this E chord right here. You know, let's say you're looking at this. Well, that's just like, these are holding this first one, so that would be just like making that chord like this. So let's say I mute it and I move it up 1. What does that become? An F. Look at that next chord. Same shape. F. There's a different way to make a G, but if I moved it up 2, that'd be a G. In a rock style chord, and all I'm doing is downstrokes. Now anyway, so I just wanted to explain a little theory of bar chords, so knowing what they're doing when you're looking at rock music. And I am going to pause the video for a second so I can go a little bit more in to showing you this G chord. Alright guys, so if you look at this G note right here, this G chord, It tells you your first finger is on that second string down in the second fret right here. So I'm going to put my first finger. You can see it has a 2. That means your second finger will go there. Your third finger is going to go on this bottom string, and then you can see there's no X's. These 3 are played open. So when you play a G chord, it's going to just strum down all the strings, right? So anyway, that's how easy it is to look at these chords to learn how to make chords. I'm not going to go a lot into it. You know, screenshot some of these chord chart things and just practice them. You can also Google them. There's a million people out there showing them. You can put in chord chart diagrams, guitar chord chart diagrams. They'll bring them up. And it's just all kinds of stuff you can look at on it. Hey guys, if you like these videos, please click on the like, subscribe links on the bottom. We have a bunch of different topics that we cover on here, including RVing, stupid dad jokes, and all that. So anyway, click that on, check out some of the other videos on the channel, and thank you guys for watching.